The Secret Teachings of the Black Mist. Chapter 1, Meeting for the First Time. We all have those lessons in life that make us who we are. Every lesson I have learned in life has shaped me into who I am today. As a matter of fact, I remember every single life I have lived, but sad to say this is my last life and my last moments. Today is the day I was saved. But before I go any further, let me tell you how everything started. It was 1808, and I was 7 years old. That was the first time I had ever lived. As my mother held me and my sister, she said, "Syra Cleary is your little brother, so that you are older in this life and protect her in the next." I could tell what my mother was saying wasn't really what she intended, but I somehow understood. Water fell from her eyes like water at a waterfall. As she said, "Run and don't look back, one day we will find you again," it was like she was speaking to me in my head, but we followed her advice and ran. In the blink of an eye, I was 27 and Syra was 40. It was morning time since we could see the sun rising over the sea at only 4 a.m. where we lived. However, this time things were different, the sun never came out, and it was even darker. My sister was standing in front of the front door staring at it, and the door grew darker as well. Something was happening that shouldn't have happened. It wasn't just a mist on the door, it was something or someone, because for arms it looked like wooden planks and also for the legs. It was dark, but I could still see my sister. The room was overflowing with black mist, like a heavy sandstorm. Suddenly, my sister turned around and apologized to me for what happened. There will be a better life next time because this one wasn't so long. There was so much darkness and then I saw a light, so I went to it, but coming into the light was difficult. Nevertheless, I made it to the light. A man was holding me. As I looked up at him, he said, "It's a boy." Chapter 2, Redo. A boy. What was he talking about? I was asking myself where I was and who these people were. Screaming out "Syra, Syra," they handed me to a woman and I stopped crying. This woman, who was she I had never met before, asked the men and women in the room for a moment to themselves. It was her, it was my sister, but she looked so different. "Cleary," she said, "I am your mother, and you are my son, and I promise you that in this life we would both live longer." She was right, it was so much better. It was my birthday and I had turned 7. My mother walked into the room holding 2 cupcakes and knelt down by my bed and said, "Since this is your second life, you have 2 candles to blow out." After a while, I remembered about my mother and father, so I blew out 1 candle for my mother and the other for my father. She took me to a school the next day, which was the first day I didn't want to go. You can always spot an outsider, so it's kind of a bummer it was me. The last day of school was the last day of the school year without any friends. I was no dummy, now I have no friends, but I loved reading and doing my work, so I am an outsider. After asking the class a question, nobody raised their hands, so she selected me. The kids behind me were talking to one another, the boys beside me were making funny faces, and the most beautiful girl was sitting next to me smiling and staring at me. I had never been acknowledged to stand and answer a question before, so when I stood up the kids behind me started talking to each other. I therefore spoke away with my head held high and my eyes closed, so that I could not see anyone else in the process. Then I opened my eyes after finishing my answer, and nothing was moving. I saw my teacher smiling and the other kids doing what they were doing, but there was no motion. My eyes glued to the girl, staring at her motionless face as her smile grew, and the bell began to ring. After school, my mother took me to the park where I was told just to play. At the park, I was swinging all by myself while having a blast. As I sat on the swing, Horace, the largest kid in the park, pushed me off because he wanted his chance to swing as well. I was laughed at by all the kids, and then that girl from class came in front of me. This was another reason people laughed at me, a girl was fighting for me. As I was getting up, I shook my fists and baled my face like a piece of paper. Then it was dark again, and I grabbed the girl's hand, but she was cold. I looked at her, and she said, "Don't run forever." As soon as the sky turned blue again, everybody went back to what they were doing like nothing had happened. I was pulled out of the park by my mother, who said it was time. Continuing to gaze at the girl, she gave a quick smile and ran off alone. My mother took a deep breath before starting the car after getting in. "Cleary, remember I promised you, on your birthday, that you would live a longer life? Well, I meant it. It is time for us to leave and relocate to a new place now that everything is packed. After that moment on, life would be better for you, and it was as it always was. I got married, had children, and went on many adventures. As usual, I was the only one at the office late at night, which shows that I am good at my job. Finished with the files, I stretched in my chair. Once I turned off the computer and grabbed my coat, I headed to the elevator. I clicked click click. Man, this elevator sure takes a while. What a wait. Wait, the lights are out. I can recall this moment, my body stiff with fright, and then the emergency lights came on. I saw the black mist right before me. Suddenly, my mother screamed for me to run to the windows as she rushed through the stairway. As I ran to the windows in a split second, things were tossed about behind me. I hadn't understood when she said run to the window, but I did. My mother was badly beaten, but her face was smiling as she hovered over me. I want you to listen to me without looking down, just straight into my eyes. This time it will be different. You will have to find me. You will have to promise me you will not give up. We were falling fast, so I had to assure her I wouldn't, then she smiled, and I saw not another star. Chapter 3, Lost Without a Way. Yes, this is going to be a party, I told you we would have a blast. You're so silly, Johnny. Cool enough for you. Yes, it would be cooler if this house belonged to him rather than his parents. It's 1999 for peak's sake, let's not ruin the moment. We're all going to perish anyways. Let's not talk about dying where the hell Clear Eye is. He might be around here somewhere. Guys, Yelena, Clear Eye is on the couch sleeping. Ha ha ha, he's a lightweight, no kidding. I gave him a cold beer, a can of the stuff. He's pretty cute when he sleeps, Simone, you just like him, and you act like you've known him forever. He's a loser, always into his books, that's why I brought him here so he can have a party. Am I right, everyone? Jake, you need to lighten up here, give me a hand, and in fact all of you, you should look cool throwing him out of the party. Right dude shuts up Johnny and just gives me a hand, grabs his leg. He only drank one beer, so why is he so heavy? Maybe he took some weight from your mom. Hey, you don't make fun of my mom here. Guys, you dropped him, stop fooling around and pick him up. Yeah, Jake picks him up like you pick up your fat mother. I hate you, kid. Johnny, what's going on? Look at the sky and around us. I think this is your mom's ass crack, dude. Yeah, maybe you're right, bastard. It's not the time to grab Clear Eye, and let's get closer. Humans shouldn't try to help this man, you should all run so you don't share his fate. Whenever he loses a life, it is a deeper punishment that cannot be bribed or paid off. The only way he can escape it is by death, or if one of you decides that life isn't important. What did he do, Simone? I'm sure you like Clear Eye and all, but you heard the voice, so you have no option but to let it go. Johnny, stop talking. Jake, if you don't stop, I will strike you. Tell me who you are and what Clear Eye did. Well, he should have died in his first life, his family protected him, such that I had no choice but to kill him when I found him. However, he had some woman with him with a similar appearance, like a family member, and she managed to save him. Wait, you said your job. Jake, please don't aggravate him. Lena, I want to know where he's from. I'm not from your world's future, I'm from my world's future. My job is to kill the ones who remember your past lives. I guess that makes you a Grim Reaper. In my world, we control your world, your minds and future, so that's why you could imagine why we would want you to remember cretin things. We'd be out of a job if you knew too much. How much do they pay you for this job? Normality pays. Normal, we don't get it. I do, Jake, I'll rip you a new one, okay, finish it up. Humans have a body, arms, legs, etc. Over 1 billion years ago, my race was taken, so we were forced to work and to hunt our own kind that knew too much. I was given the job to kill a woman who had no name, but only what she wore and what she looked like. I went, and I was shocked by what I saw. My wife. I hadn't seen her for 52 years. When she saw me, she seemed so happy and sad at the same time. Because she knew my intentions. Before I completed the job, she told me she loved me. Sorry it came to this, but I need you to find my son. She said he was to save the universe. Wait, your wife had a son, have you ever met or seen him? Actually I did, but millions of years later, and in my whole life, I have only ever met him a couple of times. Under you, beneath you, human, wait, you don't mean? Yes, Clear Eye is her son, but he looks like one of us, doesn't he? The outside may be similar, but the inside is quite different. This is Arkbin. My boss is coming, so go hurry, I will find all of you later. I'll send another Arkbin his way. She's different but means well. Can't wait to find out her name. You human there, who we can't see nothing, shut up. You know Jake, an alien, even hates you. Simone, you and Clear Eye will name her, so she will be your child and is as well. As I must go, I will wake Clear Eye, tell him nothing and stay with him. Simone, in a time of need you will lose them both, but don't give up or you will die. Seeing light from darkness, I don't know where I am or how I got here, but then a voice said, there you are, Clear Eye. Chapter 4, Warnings. Clear Eye, you've got some explaining to do. Jake, you need to back up. It's bad enough of what we just went through, we don't need your bullshit. Okay, Lena, I will explain. They asked me how I died in my past life and why I don't remember them now. I told them everything that had happened and all I could remember. Guys, I'm sorry I don't know any of you, so I'll just go because I need to find someone. All of us know that Clear Eye, and waiting, you must know that I have a sister. You too have a sister? Honestly, I have no idea what she would be in this life. I have to go, I have to find her, I'm sorry to say goodbye. Get your assembly back here. Jake, what are you doing? Well, Simone, you heard what I said, whatever, we can't take that from him. Right, Johnny, Jake, hold him down. Hey, whoever you are, let me go, it won't be any problem, I'll just go. Oh, wait, how does she know my name? My name is Simone and I want you to hear me and look straight into my eyes. Then everything went black. I can't believe I was killed. I wasn't even in that life for 10 minutes. Wait, it's that girl Simone, she's telling them to leave for a moment, damn it, I'm a newborn again. It's me Simone, I'm sorry I knocked you out, wake up, wake up. My head pounded, but I recognized her voice. When I woke up, she gave me a big hug and smiled. After a moment I asked, who are you, do you know me? Ha ha. Actually, you do remember the girl you were with in your last life. Sorry, my head is pounding pretty hard right now. Yes, I'm the girl from the park who told you that you can't run forever. Oh no. You're a bad person, get out. No, Clear Eye, I'm an Orsay, what is that I said to her calmly. Unlike you, I cannot die and be reborn. I am quite resilient to aging. In addition to not aging, I can change my age by jumping through time. Clear Eye, I've been searching for you for a very long time. How long have you been looking for me? Clear Eye, what were you thinking all this time? You could have lost your life being so careless. Ah, Simone, sorry, you're getting close now. Now, wait, how did you hear about me, or where did you come from? The sun, of course, yeah, you're hot. Our species was the first in this universe, a timeless species you might say. Because you are Clear Eye, you are here on Earth, for you can save many races in the universe with your knowledge. Okay, Simone, yes, Clear Eye, but what the hell are you talking about? I am a human, not a savior of the universe. Well, since there is no savior, here is your future. Could you please tell me where I am, or at least what year I was born? I usually come into a life when I'm 7. Yes, January 1st, 1999 is the year when your plant dies due to natural disasters. What are you kidding me? Calm down, it's not like this is the only plant with life. There are other plants with life. Oh my god, Clear Eye, how could you ask such a stupid question? I am from a different plant, I should hit you, Clear Eye, please don't, I have no idea where I come from. As I took a deep breath, Simone grabbed my shoulder and said, you're from Arcbanese. She continued, do you want to see your home world? No, we are already here. How can we be on Arcbanese? This is just a portal house, walk outside and see your home for yourself. I got up and took hold of the doorknob as she said, Clear Eye, what you see might shock you, but it is you. This is your world. As I walked out, I felt different in my body, like I was emerging from something. A man came up to me and stuck his hand into my eyes, and I saw nothing but yellow. The pain disappeared when he removed his hand, and I even grew taller than the guy initially was, and now he was at my waist. I knew it, the guy said, you're an Arcban, aren't you? Oh my god, the guy said and dropped to his knees. When I turned around, Simone's skin was peeling off of her. Her skin was yellow, her eyes were blue with yellow dots for pupils, she had a yellow tail with a red fire strand at the end, and her hair was in flames, but you could run your fingers through it like regular hair. My apologies to the goddess of the inner sun, now go on and bring a mirror back and place it here, ya sun goddess, I shall go now. You look pretty. You're on fire. I know. Well, let's step outside and take a look around. I'm sure you'll like what you see. How will I know I like what I see? When people like what they see, you return home. Who am I to these people? I don't know their savior, their king. So, why wasn't I raised here? Let's ask your people. As Simone and I walked around, we saw nothing but what looked like cities. The structures looked like waterfalls on top of glass. There was no ground at all, but there was, and it looked like a universe was under me. A few seconds passed and men, women and children rose up from the ground like mushrooms. They were all kneeling at my feet. Then in the back a giant man arose, but when he walked, it was like the universe was enveloping him. Who are you? I asked. Oh well, I'm not your concern, but why don't you look like us, or tied to this plant like we are? I am an Arkbin, so you're a king. I don't remember anything about this place. Oh, why have you brought back an Arkbin who can't even recognize his strengths? Because we need your help, leave us or say, and we will bring his never life back. But when I turned around, the standing universe was so close I felt it was like eye to eye. They had bodies that looked like the universe, and eyes like the scorching sun. They didn't even speak. I was thinking, what the hell is going on? Then I heard the guy, he said, hey, I brought the mirror back. I turned around and I was in space. They pushed me so fast I didn't realize I was moving because I was on the other side of the mirror. They said the mirror would be how I would start all my lives over, but you will begin here. I ran back to the mirror, but they blocked me from making a single step. These were all different for me. I wondered what had happened to Simone. I was sure that days had passed. Then the mirror opened again, and it was she reaching her hand through and saying, hurry, let's go, we must escape. The second I grabbed her hand, we were back on Earth in the room where everything had happened. She untied me from the chair and said we must proceed. As soon as we got down the stairs, Simone told Jake and the others to get in the car. When we were in the car, we did not speak for hours. Simone, taking a deep breath, said, everybody out. I know this is your car, but what the heck are we getting out for? It's midnight, and we don't know where we are. The two of us are in danger, now shut up and get out. I said nothing, I just left. Simone, what's the point? I said. I must protect you, we must all become the same person. I mean, we all look different, and I don't know if you've noticed, but we are aliens. I'm afraid you're sadly mistaken, Lena. You see, me and Clear may look like you, but we are much more than you. We can make wonders happen just by thinking it. We control this universe, Clear. But I don't have time to explain everything, I said. Drink this water, I asked. To ensure I find all of you in the next life. No, I said. But she burned them like hair in lava. I spoke to them slowly, but they burned like hair. There aren't dead, Clear. What do you mean? I found black water in a lake when I left you alone. I drank it and almost died, but when I awoke, I was on the sun again in my baby crib. My dear Simone. I can't follow you. The water, Clear, it's what keeps you alive when you die, but when you die you use a portion of it, and as a result, the rest of your lives are running out. The reason why I didn't die is because I'm an endless race, so it just sent me back to my first year, but you forget nothing because you just start all the way over, Clear. I can save the whole universe with this plant. Now how does all this fit with the ghostly man? It's not making sense to me. The Black Mist is what people call him. His real name is Charles. He was a human scientist. Wait, how did he get that way? In 1798, he discovered a hidden plant. 1 year after that, a comet came crashing through Charles's house. It was your mother. She came out with you and your sister. You were 7 and she was 20. You looked just like humans, and Charles studied you for years. Then 2 years after that, a man came looking for 3 people. After Charles refused to answer, the man beat him and destroyed his lab. Before he left, Charles said, I know where you come from. You can destroy everything, but you can never forget what I have studied. He stopped at the door and said, that brain of yours may come in handy. After a few seconds, Charles and the man were gone. But the man came back in 1808, he found you, your sister, and your mother. That's why your mother told you to run. What happened to my mother? I don't know. He took her as well. The day I found out what black water is was when I followed him back to his planet. He was conducting experiments of his own. It's a life form that lives in people, infusing them with as many lives as a single droplet. When a host is fed too much water, their body and soul are drowned. Charles had been the first to have this happen. So I guess a human might be hunting us. Even though his brain was stolen, he still remembers his past life for some reason. Who has it? The man who stole your mother and Charles, your father. Chapter 5, Getting Back Together. What are you talking about, my father? My mind was so confused that I was unsure if she was lying to me or telling the truth. Despite everything we have been through in the last few days, I guess everything is possible. It all felt like a nightmare to me, as if I were experiencing all the pain, but still couldn't wake up from it. I had heard enough bad news so far, so I guess it wouldn't be the end of me since I would die anyways. Snap out of it. I'm sorry I'm here, I was just thinking. Clara, you need some rest. I know you're tired here, so get in the car, and I'll take you to my family's vacation home. Sit back and relax. Honestly, I can't remember since I slept for more than a day. I always had problems crawling up my back. Although she opened my eyes to a few crazy things, Simone was the best thing that ever happened to me. Occasionally, I would see the towns we passed through as I woke up. They could be beautiful, or they could be small. After that, we made a stop. I didn't know what town we were in or even what state we were in, but it was stunning all around. I was amazed at how tall the trees were, and how unique the houses were all by themselves. Then we came to a house atop a hill that overlooked everything. Even though it was nighttime, the parade taking place at the time lit up the streets like the sun is your next-door neighbor. Clara, here we are. Step out of the truck, and let's take a look at our new place. The outside of the house was beautiful, but the interior was even better. When we settled in, we figured out where everything was and where it should go. There were at least 8 rooms and about 5 bathrooms. Her father was kind enough to give us the house. Come on, Clara, come here quick upstairs. I felt my heart beating so fast as I reached where she was. I was thinking what was going on with us just getting here and already experiencing problems. Oh my God, Clara, what took you so long? I could have been dead by now, but you're not. And what's the matter? Why did you scream my name so loudly? My heart was pounding. It's a huge bathroom, it's about the size of a room and more, wouldn't you say? Yeah, it is a very nice bathroom. Neither of us said a word as we looked around. Then a loud boom shook the ground outside, followed by another, and soon it started raining. Despite the rain, we both smiled and let the drops hit our heads as we stood in the rain. Clara, I'm glad you're here with me. I have been alone for thousands of years, and now I have someone who understands me and accepts me for who I am. I love you, Clara, but I had no idea what to say back since I was in shock. Imagine, the Queen of the Universe was in love with me, Arkbin. Come on, Clara. I took her hand and we walked back into the house. We kissed wall to wall, removing one piece of clothing at a time until we got to the bedroom. She slammed the door behind us and said, Clara, I want you to take me now. I want you to make love to me as if it was our last moment. She then picked me up and threw me on the bed with great force. Change, Clara, turn into the Arkbin that you are. Then her body exploded into flames. Wait, what are you doing? You're going to set the whole damn house on fire. Clara, the reason why my father gave me this house was because he knew I was not human. Now, Change, I don't know how, then I will show you. The entire room was set ablaze within seconds, but my skin was fireproof. Then I saw it, the universe was my skin. Then Simone rubbed my cheek with her burning hand and said, now make love to me. The two of us lay on our backs and made love for hours, harder, faster, deeper. She went from yellow to red to blue to green, then purple to black, then she looked down at me with purple and black eyes. I didn't want you to stop, I wanted you to start a new universe inside of me. Then she went harder and harder. When I looked down at my body, all the planets were flowing into her body. Afterwards, I paced it out and she did the same, retracting her flames as we slept. The following morning I woke up and went for a walk around the house, seeing parts of it I had never seen before. We had breakfast together. So the sun is too bright, I thought, and she took her hands down and laughed. How could it be I'm from there? But I have a surprise for you that I think you should see. So let me set out all this food that I made and nobody thanked me for it or noticed that it was made for someone special. I'm sorry, I didn't notice, but come sit down. Here, Clara, you remember when I told you that I could see the future? Well, look into my eyes and tell me what you see. I'm sorry I can't see deep within your pupils, could you maybe display it on the big screen? Clara, where would it go? Maybe on your ass or something. Oh, so now my ass is a big screen. Oh no, I didn't mean that, Clara, I'm only joking here, I'll put it in my palm. It looks like the universe is forming something, but what? Give it a second. My God, what the fuck is that? I'm just joking, I can now make a joke too. There it is, the body forming. I see it, it's a girl, what does this mean? Clear I am expecting. I'm pregnant.